July arrived on the wings of a cold, blustery wind. I'm not usually one to rush the seasons, but this July so strongly resembles October that I couldn't help but wish for a foggy, golden October morning on this single, rare hot day of summer. My wish came true very shortly, but more about that later. Even this hot summer day was filled with autumnal melancholy. It felt more like an odd warm day deep in October, which seems so out of place and so uncommon amongst the days filled with rain. I seized this opportunity and went for a walk on a hill in search of fireweeds and wild oregano for tea, while craving all things cozy. Chunky sweaters, warm spices, hot herbal tea in the evening. I always had a soft spot in my heart for autumn season. This year's fireweeds weren't as strong and abundant as the year before. I noticed many flowers bloomed too fast or shed their fiery pink petals way too early. I only collected a handful of leaves to make enough tea to last me through the rainy nights in the foreseeable month, leaving the rest for wild animals and bumblebees. Wild oregano is another one of my favorite herbs to collect in nature, which works beautifully sprinkled on a pumpkin soup come autumn. Both these herbs are so easy to recognize, and even though they grow in the middle of summer, they strongly remind me of the cooler time to come. Gathering my own wild herbs and food and drying or preserving it for autumn is something I only learned to do last year. With all the conveniences we have available at our doorstep, all the shops, ingredients prepared by people you don't know, imported from all the different countries, I find some kind of irrevocable pleasure in sipping my tea on a cold evening, knowing that this is something I foraged for myself. Or using herbs I dried myself after carefully picking them in my local area. There is something so magical, so witchy about it, and right now, seeing how gloomy it has been outside, I am so ready to tap into this darker, magical aesthetic of life. I've recently been seeing the term Summerween everywhere, and it seems so many of us are actually craving the spooky autumn vibes. So I thought, why not create some autumnal magic and tap into the melancholic autumn mood in the middle of summer, even if just for this once. On this rainy grey weekend, I ventured out to a beautiful garden surrounding a stunning Victorian Gothic revival house at Somerset. How incredibly poetic and spooky does that sound? I found the last of roses, the season I completely missed at the end of June, and spent some time enjoying the wonderful garden under the rain. Most people hid in the house, while I decided to brave the weather and enjoy the moment of solitude while raindrops soaked my clothes and hair. Perhaps living in England made me completely change my relationship with cold and rainy weather. One thing you would notice if you come to England in the rain is that nobody carries an umbrella. Doesn't matter the season, it's so rare to see anyone with an umbrella in hand, unlike that stereotypical image portrayed in old films and pictures set amongst moody English landscapes. Rain brought so much peace and tranquility. Sometimes it feels like summer makes you run in hectic frenzy trying to fit in all of the lovely seasonal activities in the short period of 3 months. But rain reminded me to slow down and take life as it comes. Enjoy the slow and simple moments, the peaceful home life watching the raindrops roll down my window. I'm excited to see more fruits and vegetables ripen as autumn comes in a couple of months. I've collected the first tiny harvest from my garden, and I'm eagerly looking forward to the time when apples ripen in the small community orchard near my village. I will soon be collecting damson plums and hopefully slowberries. I've never experimented with those before, so I'm very excited. And of course, pumpkins. Hopefully this year I will visit a pumpkin patch for the first time. I am dreaming of these peaceful, cool days as I cozy up with a book. I'm reading a few at the moment, choosing the one that suits my mood at this particular time of day or week. I like to read a lot of heavier existentialist novels, but recently I've been enjoying some beautiful, lighter classics. I'm reaching for Anne of Green Gables most often nowadays, and it gives me this peaceful feeling on a long, rainy afternoon. Have you noticed how days have been getting slightly shorter each day? With the darkness of rainy grey days, I didn't have much time to observe these changes in nature. After all, it stays dark almost all day long. I've been trying to get out to explore as much as I can though, going to the farthest corners of the country, taking longer drives and enriching my heart with new beautiful moments. Honestly, I really like my routine. Staying home, waking up to slow breakfast, working all day, cooking, going out for walks nearby. Doing something different from my routine gives me anxiety lately, which is why I started taking myself away from the familiar in gentle and deliberate ways. Places like this stunning Victorian Gothic revival house spark inspiration in me. As much as I love nature, I love history and art too. And without going outside, expanding my horizons, I would never be able to add new layers to my life and my creativity. I hope you enjoyed spending a rainy day with me. Soon, perhaps, we will come back to summer and enjoy the warmth of the season some more. But while the rainy days create an illusion of autumn, I thought we can embrace it together. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next week.